Hello and welcome back to the land of SIKA, and here we go. We are in the lotus territory, obviously, as you might expect, considering where we were in the previous episode, but here's the thing. The inevitable has happened. The very inevitable fact that the LOMOCA have now declared war against us. So, we have a bit of I'm not really sure where to go from here, because on the one hand, I would love to be able to eliminate the LOMOCA, and that means obviously traversing the entirety of the northern area, getting all the way back to the east, and attempting to eliminate the LOMOCA through all of their, well, probably pretty decent defenses. Bear in mind that they are also very close to a lot of our fiefs, and they're not distracted in the least. They are very organized, I'm going to assume, at the start of the conflict. Whereas the Lotus, on the other hand, as you can quite clearly tell, they only have 2 towns, 3 castles remaining. They would love to be able to make peace with us, as you can quite clearly see. Look at that, 3,000 tribute per day they'd be willing to pay, and yeah. Otherwise, on the other hand, the LOMOCA are very much wanting to take our money if we wanted to provide them with a peace agreement. But I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to go over to Remtor Castle. I'm going to see if we can maybe sustain ourselves for a little bit of time. Maybe try to take a couple more of the Lotus fiefs and then go on from there. Because here's the thing. I mean, you can see exactly what the problem is. We just have to take these 2 towns, these 3 castles, and then we're done. And it's very close by. It's actually pretty surprising that they're super close by to each other like this, and we might very well get some assistance from some of our ally friends. Oh, okay. Hello. Yeah, alright. Yeah, we're not going to get any assistance, but I am going to be recruiting some people. I have 47% HP. Not a big fan of that, gotta say. But I can't really do much about it because we are now going to be attacked by a very strong army, 925. They do have a slight advantage over us in terms of combat strength, but as we've seen before, not sure if that's going to make that much of a difference. So let's see what we can do here. I am primarily going to focus on my archers, of course, so let me just make sure that they're all good. They're looking pretty nice right there. And let's now start, and I'm gonna see if I can maybe use over. I'm gonna try to use 30 arrows in this siege. In this battle. You see, sieges are on my mind all the time because I'm literally just doing sieges and trying to eliminate the Lotus. But yeah, here we go. All right, I'm gonna have to move my forces ahead, I think, a little bit here. I might have to be a bit of a distraction for my forces as well. Oh, we have some LOMOCA here. Okay, apparently there's a defector in amongst their ranks. Okay, that's interesting. I don't want to get killed by these guys, though. We're actually going to put in a charge order here, mostly because I want my forces to catch up. I want my infantry to catch up to where my archers are. We're going to place the archers around about here on this slight incline. That's going to make a huge difference to their effective range, or at least I hope so. And otherwise, we're going to continue bombarding the enemy with our very own bow. And here come our cavalry coming in right here, and hopefully they're going to be doing some pretty massive damage. I'm actually going to head straight on in with my polearm. This is, this is a target-rich environment if ever I saw one. Thank you very much. This is exactly what we want to see, and hopefully I am going to have a decent chance of eliminating a lot of people here as we just ride through. I am very much hoping that they're not going to bring out their polearms or anything like that. Those things are just absolute menaces to us. But thankfully it doesn't seem as though they have a preference for that kind of weapon, at least at the moment. Maybe we're going to face some LOMOCA units, and I think they generally do tend to have quite a few more polearm-based units, but yeah, this time around, no, we don't have to really worry about that too much. Make sure that we hit with the blade of our polearm, and then we're going to be perfectly fine. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Here we go. Can we get some more? Wow, they're so scattered right now. It's actually a little bit difficult to get kills with the polearm, but thankfully now my infantry are meeting the opponent, and we can now move our archers a little bit forward here. And I'm actually going to need to do a little bit of something about the enemy's cavalry, I think. These guys are just running around randomly here. I'd like to try and eliminate them. Wow, how much damage, and yet this guy just shrugged it off. That is pretty impressive for him to do that. And otherwise, we almost got him, Yeah, I'm actually very much used to the longer reach of the other polearm at the moment still, especially when it's on, you know, on horseback. That's really going to make a pretty huge difference to my effectiveness at the moment. I'm just going to have to get used to it. I do seem to be getting quite a few kills, though, all things considered. I'm not doing too badly, I guess, but we are kind of needing to do that. Maybe? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, because nowadays I'm not sure how strong my forces are. I think they're really strong, but I'm not sure if I need to contribute as much as I am, or whether I can just kind of relax and take a bit of, you know, a bit of a back seat most of the time. It seems like I think we should be fine, but how many units have I actually killed? I've only killed 60. Alright, I've only killed 60. Yeah, I was actually thinking that maybe I would need to, you know, contribute more or less, or, I mean, generally contributing at all is obviously very good, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to just overexert and then get myself killed, and then that's going to make things even more difficult for us in the upcoming siege, because obviously in a siege, HP basically means everything. And while we are playing the Land of Sika, you are going to get a much higher overall total HP value due to the various sub-mods that are included in the mod. And in comparison to Native and indeed Warband as well, you're not really going to be able to regenerate that fast. That's also the reason why I think the settlement that you have available to you does have an inbuilt hospital, because then you're going to be able to regenerate your HP just that much faster. Unfortunately, we are very far away from it. And for me personally, I would love to see a way, in future versions of the Land of Sika, of course, I would love to see a way for us to increase the mobility of our settlement, or to be able to increase the amount of settlements that we can possibly create. Maybe just outposts. I'm not talking about a full settlement here, because obviously that is a pretty large endeavor. But I'm talking about an outpost of some kind that would allow us to have a certain amount of features that would go along with the settlement. So for example, let's say that we wanted to have a medical outpost. In my case, that would be very, very useful at the moment. And we could then build the outpost, I don't know, nearby in, I don't know, Nicanian territory or something like that. That actually might be really useful, because then I could go there, I could pay a fee, and then they could give me back some HP, some very much needed HP. Anyway, I'm going to be taking every single one of these people prisoner. I'm actually starting to do that a little bit more now, because we're getting to the end of, you know, the Lotus in general, and they're not really going to... Oh, hello! Blood Lotus Revenge Knights, thank you very much. And they're not really going to be a threat that much longer. And of course, how many more times are we going to be able to defeat a full army like this one? That's the thing, you see. So being able to, you know, get relation with them early on in the conflict, that is what I usually try to do. But nowadays, I'm not really going to prioritize that, at least as it stands right now. You know, because obviously we want to do this siege, and it's just a castle. You know, it is just a castle, so it shouldn't be that bad for us. And we can now lead the assault. I'm actually wondering, what kind of garrison do they have here? No, they have nothing. They have nothing that can really really damage us too heavily, so I shouldn't really have too many difficulties here. But you know how it is. If you go in with an injury as significant as mine, because I have about 40% HP right now, this is not looking good, you know? I can take some headshots and then I'm dead very, very easily. So I'm just going to try and get one of the ladders up and maybe sneak in at the side. Maybe I'm going to be able to do that. Maybe I'll have the ability to be fast enough, and hopefully I won't get shot in the meantime. It seems like there are already some archers up there, which is not exactly good, but let's just see what happens. Okay, hello. Got some people here. Okay. I'm gonna actually be a bit careful. Okay, this is real weird. Yeah, these guys cannot reach me because they're using very short-range weapons, obviously, and I have an extremely long-range polearm, so this is going to be kind of funny. I actually don't know whether I can even continue to attack here, because inevitably I am going to get pushed by my own forces into the opponent, possibly. So I guess the best thing I can do is just continually attack. Okay, here we go. We might have some space. There we go. Alright, yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Alright, now we can just do the damage. Now all we need to do is do the damage. I'm just going to stand here and use my polearm to try and clear out the enemy. Hopefully I won't get shot any further, because I am actually getting a little bit of damage from somewhere. I don't really know where. But the least amount of damage that I can take, the better. Okay, here we go. Come on. There we go. Take those down. Yeah, there we go. We took them down. Okay, great. And I believe that's actually it. I'm just going to speed things up real fast. And that is Remtor Castle. What a fast siege that was. Yeah, that is looking real nice. We actually only ended up losing 4 units as well. And bear in mind, we also have a bunch of rescued people from the army that we fought. And that enables us to put some much needed people in the garrison here as well. It's going to make a big difference to how steadfast they're going to be. And we also did gain, as I said before, we gained some Blood Lotus Revenge Knights, which are also going to be very, very nice for us. Okay, so otherwise, let's just go in here. I'm just going to put 20k in there, as we normally do. We're just going to switch that to loyalty, and then we're going to head on to Liskmos, or whatever, however you say this particular name. Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, the owner of Remtor Castle will be this fellow. I'm basically just voting for whoever has the most support, because here's the thing, I actually don't have a significant amount of influence anymore. I have about 1,000, which is okay, but obviously if I try to overturn any of the, shall we say, most popular votes, if I try to overturn that, then it costs me a massive amount of influence. And some of the time I just don't have the ability to do that. So I'd like to save my influence just in case there is actually a decision at some point in the future that really needs to be overturned, and I'd like the influence to be able to do that. Anyway, we have a choice, actually, amazingly enough. We have a perk to select in leadership. So let's have a look. Increase the rate of recruiting ranged prisoners by 50%. If that was... Yeah, no, we've already got that. Increases the rate of recruiting melee prisoners. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to be going for... At the beginning of a battle, the morale of all your troops is increased by 5. I don't actually see this as being that useful. And personally, for me, this is one of those times where I look at the perk and I think to myself, what is the point of this? Because... if you are this late in the game, and I'm talking about, you know, we're pretty late in the game right now. You know, we're kind of like end of the mid game, sort of getting very close to the end game, and you don't really need morale, do you? You don't really need morale at this point, because I mean, you can quite clearly see. Look at this. I am 100% with party morale, and if I need any morale, you know what I do? I go into a battle, and then I have all the morale back, and that's pretty much it. So I guess what I'm going to do is I will just take Trusted Commander, because troop experience gain while fighting in simulated battles being increased by 20%. I actually misread that initially, and I thought that was 200%, which would have been amazing, but I'll take 20%, I suppose. Anyway, This has, okay, 875. Oh no. Alright, so yeah, this has 875 in the garrison. Might be a little bit difficult, but we've got to take it no matter what. I'm leaving the final town for last because that town over there is very difficult. Or at least I seem to remember it has over 1,200 units inside it. It is a clear day when we venture into the town's siege. And yeah, that means that we're going to get to see the wonderful arrow that is going to stream towards my head in just a second. What do you bet? Are we? Am I going to get shot? Am I going to get shot? I'm actually very surprised that I haven't already been shot, but... Ah, there we go. There was the first arrow. Did you see that? That was unlucky miss on that fellow's part. I'm actually getting shot multiple times here, but thankfully we are just that little bit too quick for them to be able to hit us. And now... Oh, that was a bad time for him to actually lower his guard. I like it. Alright, here we go. Okay, so it seems like that is indeed a victory for us, and we really didn't have to worry at all. I'm kind of still worried about the one after this, because the town has a relatively fiendish layout, as far as I can remember. It's that one where all of the archers have a really good vantage point on you when you try to get onto the battlements, and then they can basically just shoot you from wherever they want, and that's obviously going to be kind of a bit tricky to deal with. Not impossible, but a bit tricky, and I'm not looking forward to dealing with that. But it's alright because we are going to be victorious here in a matter of moments. I hope, at the very least. I'm just going to stand in the corner over here. Just going to allow a bunch of their reinforcements to come in. As you can see, they're just very, shall we say, very hopelessly throwing all kinds of troops at us, and well, we are just batting them away like they're feathers, basically, like they're nothing. So, anyway, let's just take that guy prisoner. A evil flame knight. Okay, 5 evil flame knights. Kind of weird that we only see 5 of them in here, but okay. I'm just going to take a bunch of loot, even though we have way too much of it as it is. And we can otherwise ransom our prisoners if we want to. I don't see the point in doing that either, but yeah, anyway. We now have the yes, if I can speak. We now have the ability to garrison some things, although I'm probably not going to be placing any units in here whatsoever. I know it sounds a bit weird, right? But I will not be doing that. And let's actually have a look. How much money? 120,000. Boom. Straight away, just like that. Super nice. And yeah, as I say, I can't really do anything with the garrison itself because I don't have any spare units. I have no spare units whatsoever. The only thing I could do is go back to Remtol Castle, but I've already given it away to someone, so there really is no point in me doing that. And I'm actually wondering, are these two going to actually do the siege over there? Because if they do that siege, I'm going to be super happy with them, but I highly doubt they're going to, so it's going to be a little bit sad. Oh, I'm actually now starting to get onto the ticket again, as you can see right there. That's actually kind of interesting. I wouldn't have expected myself to be on the ticket for quite some time, but apparently they still want me to own some things, but I'm not really too pleased about that myself. I'm actually very much hoping that they will attempt to take that town, but it seems to me like maybe that's not going to happen. Oh, I really wish there was a bridge right here. Oh well, never mind, there isn't. Okay. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get around here. 36 defenders over there, and we do have a number of people here too. I could technically take all of these people into my army. Should I do that? Maybe that would be an idea. Alright, let's just have a look-see here real fast. Okay, we're just going to put all of these people in my party. No, these two are too far away for my liking, so we're just going to do that. 938. Okay. I'm wondering whether we should just go for this because it's got 1,200. I'm getting all of these people to join my army right now, and oh, they're actually running in there against this guy. All right, we'll just do a small little auto resolve right there. Take him prisoner. Did he have anyone of use? No, doesn't seem like it. Kind of sad. Oh well. Never mind. Okay, so yeah, let's continue to move, and there we go. We've got 900 units now against 1,200. You can see here, however, that there are a lot of sieges going on in this area, which is to be expected, of course. That was basically the most predictable thing that we could have expected from the LOMOCA. They, of course, want to take Yarian territory fiefs from us. They've been attempting to take Yarian territory since the beginning of the game, basically, and them wanting to take this now. That's no surprise. That really is no surprise. So it shouldn't be that difficult for us to hopefully take that back in the future. Pendrake Castle is also under siege at the moment, which, to be fair, is also pretty obvious. Only 42 units in the garrison there. As I say, we can't really do much about that. The best thing we could do is pretty much just take every single thing that the Wiltus have available to them, and then making peace with them, and then they will inevitably start leaving their faction, and then the faction will dissolve under the weight of the Reformian shogunate, or whatever, you know, that sort of thing. Hopefully that is going to happen at least. Yeah, okay, here we go. I'm kind of steeling myself for this particular siege. Not a big fan of the siege at all, and as you no doubt tell, I'm pretty low in HP. Yeah. This is going to be a bit problematic. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. It very much depends. But I seem to remember this as being quite difficult, but we were here before without any additional assistance. I think we had like 1 or 2 vassals with us. Now we have many, many more. Okay. Yeah. That didn't really go too well, did it? Yeah, there we go. Alright. Can I please get up here? Okay, hello. What am I actually taking damage from? All of those archers over there? Okay. yeah, I am very low in HP right now. Okay, I've got to be super careful about the darkness going in here as well. Oh, hello there, sir. What are you doing? He was waiting in here for me. He was like, oh yeah, that vegetable fellow, he's going to come up here and he's going to go in and try to do some jiggery pokery or something like that. Yeah. And that's exactly what I was trying to do. But yeah, he was right there waiting for us. Surprisingly enough, he would have been able to kill me. 100% he would have been able to kill me if he had just decided just to swing his weapon once. A little bit closer to me than he did, which was really strange, but okay. I guess I can't really, I don't know, I can't really say no thank you to that, or, you know, just be ungrateful or whatever, because, you know, he basically just didn't kill me, and now I get the opportunity to have some fun in the siege, which I love. I love these kinds of sieges that are a little bit more intense, because obviously we don't know whether we're going to achieve victory here, but I'm pretty sure, considering we have a more numerous army this time around, we should be fine. But you know, the intensity of the fighting is what is really enjoyable here, and the fact that I'm very low in HP, of course, because that adds an additional layer of tension, because we have no idea whether I'm actually going to win this, or shall we say, whether I'm actually going to survive. Because look at my people. My people are all dead. They climb up the ladder and they die almost instantly. This is really bad. Okay, I think we should be fine. I mean, you can see at the top of the screen the combat strength, but here's the thing. Even though it shows us as winning right now, that actually might not even be the reality of the situation, because I don't know whether you know, but generally when the offense in a siege is generated into the battlefield, they are given more units than the defense, because the defense is inevitably going to have the walls to help them. They're going to have various bottlenecks to assist their defensive efforts, and so on and so forth. And so the defense is going to receive more reinforcement waves than the offense. And so they spawn them in slightly smaller increments. At least that is what I have seen so far, and that seems to be how the mechanics are working. So that's kind of something to bear in mind if you do see the combat strength a little bit lower. And I say a little bit lower, but it is actually quite significantly lower. Oh, and I'm dead. Okay, I just fell off. Okay, yeah, never mind. Okay, that was interesting. Oh well, never mind. I guess we don't really have to worry too much, because we are probably going to win. But as you can see, you see the enemies coming in here. The main problem... Alright, I'm actually going to slow this down just because I want to talk about this particular point for like a minute or so. Did you see what was actually happening here? Look at this. The defenders are going down to around 5 casualties, and then they're spawning 20 enemies in. 20. At a time. Just 20. And we have 152 units on the battlefield. And them spawning in like this is basically useless and pointless, in my opinion. I feel like the mechanics should be changed so that the ratio of units that are coming in to the siege are dramatically increased. And I'm talking about I'm talking about people coming from a wide variety of different locations inside the town as well, because I don't know whether you've noticed, but look at where I can go with my camera right now, and look at all of these places here. Look at the streets. They're all rendered, right? They're all rendered. You can run through these potentially. And in my opinion, what should be happening is when reinforcements come in, and I'm not talking about the reinforcements spawning here, obviously, but I'm talking about reinforcements spawning all in different locations where there may be a barracks or something like that within the town. Because obviously this is a town, you know? It is a very, very large structure, and they're not only going to have one particular area for them to spawn, and they're certainly not going to appear out of thin air right behind the front gate, which is exactly what is happening right now. And so, for me personally, I'd like to see a system that basically makes it so that, for example, let's say I don't know, let's say that this structure right here, which is quite clearly a windmill, but let's just say that this structure is the barracks. We could have units spawning around about here and then running along the road here, and then the opposing force is going to be running from the other side, and then they're going to meet. They're going to meet in the middle in this road type area, pathway, whatever, and then they're going to be fighting. But then at the same time, and I'm not just talking about 20 units here either, and then at the same time, we have other units spawning from this location over here, and they're coming from the side, and there's like a multi-pronged attack going on between the defenders and the offense, and that dramatically increases the dynamicism of the siege battle itself. Because as it stands right now, yeah, look, okay, now they've actually done a significantly better job of reinforcing the garrison, because now they're not spawning in increments of 20, they actually spawned many, many more units. I'm not entirely sure what sparked the greater amount of units being spawned in, but I'm very pleased to see that, because I don't want to see the AI spawning in increments of 20, especially considering the fact that literally, as you saw right there, my forces were pretty much just standing here, right? They were standing here, enemies were spawning in, the enemies were getting instantly slaughtered, because, let's face it, that's exactly what's going to happen. If they spawn in, they're completely defenseless for a second or two, and our forces are just going to surround them and kill them almost immediately. But then, they obviously spawned in another 20, and another 20, and another 20, over and over again, until we had eliminated so many of them that it was basically a foregone conclusion that we were going to achieve victory. However, if the AI had done it differently, or if the mechanics were slightly tweaked a little bit, then it would have been so much more difficult. And I'm talking about spawning in units in increments of 50 or 100 or something like that. So for example, my analogy from earlier, where we had the windmill being one of the barracks and this area over here being a barracks, you could have 50 units spawning from each location and then having them, you know, dispersed throughout the town and attempting to fight in different locations all across the area. I think that would be really, really fun and super cool. But obviously that's just me. I don't know whether you agree on that or not, but I think that that's fun. And I'm actually going to be promoting this guy. This sounds like a pretty fun idea. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to give him some more athletics, because I'd like him to be super strong in actual combat, because I'm not going to make him into a party leader or anything like that. I could make him a smith. Should I make him a smith? I don't know. Maybe a smith would be kind of funny. Yeah, why not? Let's make him a smith. And we'll also give him... is engineering actually useful? Trade skill? Yeah, let's give him trade skill or something like that. So smithing, athletics, and trade skill. There we go. All right, perfect. So we have eliminated the entirety of the opponent, but of course, as I said to you, in my opinion, if the mechanics were slightly tweaked, it would be really, really nice, because it would make it so much less... it would be... I mean, obviously changing the spawn location would be the first thing that would be very, very important to do, because otherwise you're just literally going to see these fellows spawning out of thin air. And in my opinion, it's very unrealistic to just see these guys just, you know, coming out of nowhere. And, you know, to be fair, in Warband, that is exactly how it worked as well. But they did actually spawn from a bit further away sometimes. You would most of the time not see them just appear through your appear before your very eyes. Sometimes they would spawn in the back of the town, and then they would run towards the front line. That's usually how it would go, and then the offensive force would move, you know, through the streets or move through the battlements or whatever it is to get to the initial spawn area of the defenders, and then they would obviously just trap them in there and kill them over and over again. That's basically how it would work in Warband. But in this, that doesn't really happen, and they just spawn right in front of you, which is a bit weird. So not entirely sure what was going on with that, but maybe we're going to see a little bit of a difference as time goes on. Although the game is going to be released fully, so hopefully they're still going to be working on it. Anyway, 228,000 from the marketplace here. Gotta say, I'm very, very pleased with this. And there's 100 loyalty as well. Super nice. Alright, let's move on to Druemore Castle, and that will be the end of the Wolters, or at least I can only hope it is. And there's another... we're getting marriage offers all the time for Melethvon, which is really, really funny. I'm actually going to be disbanding my army right now. Gonna disband all of the army. With the exception, I'm just going to create a new army with just the people that I have created myself. Yeah, these guys. This guy, there we go. Yeah, that seems pretty good. There we are, these people. Okay, perfect. And then we are going to move on. Okay, the owner, I don't really care who it is, actually. I'm pretty sure that the town is going to get taken back, by the way, but obviously if you know me, it doesn't really matter. You know, if you know how these things work, it doesn't really matter. If they take it, then we can just very, very quickly and easily take it back. Super, super simple. Now that we have completely eliminated the 1,200 units that were, you know, having a good old go at us right there, you know, we were perfectly fine. And as you can see, Zhang was over there, and he actually dealt with them by the looks of things, so that is really, really nice of him. Okay, so yeah, now we can head on into Druemore Castle. This is the final fief for the Wolters. At least I hope so. Maybe Pendrake Castle? I'm not sure if they took Pendrake Castle or not, but if they did take it, then of course I can go ahead and take that off screen. Probably will be doing that if that is indeed the case, and then we will be making peace with the Wolters after that. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna have to raise one of these ladders up. Can you? Yeah, there we go. Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Yes. Help me, explorer blade person. Yes. Perfect. Okay, wait a minute. Wow, there's... Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to say, there's not many people up here. Yeah, they were just kind of chilling in the back there. A little bit. Okay, I'm gonna just try and survive here. Ooh, I like the fact that we can go underneath the stairs. That was actually really, really fun. Okay, let me... Oh no, this is bad. Oh, hello. Do you wanna chase me? Do you wanna chase me? It's not a good idea. Your shield's gone. Oh, you're dead now. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Do you see that? Yeah, it's reminiscent of me. Yes, me chasing some enemy unit that comes in and then just proceeding to get completely murdered by him. That sometimes happens. Okay. There we go. Alright, we should be fine now. We should be absolutely fine in actual fact. Wow, okay. Was not expecting our forces to take the walls so incredibly fast, but I guess because we do have the numbers advantage as it is, that was, yeah, pretty much just, you know, kind of predictable right there, I guess. But anyway, we can now do an auto-resolve against the final units in the keep, and there we have it. Okay, we have now taken basically everything that the Wolters have, and I'm going to take a look and see if they have taken Pendrake. I don't think they have, but I could be wrong, so let me just have a quick look. Oh, Utherlame Castle is actually the final fief. Alright, okay. Yeah, but Pendrake Castle has not been taken, as you can see, so that's super, super nice, because that means I won't have to take that myself. And I will actually be ending this episode off here, and what I will be doing, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Utherlame Castle. It's going to be super easy, don't worry. There's probably going to be like, what, 300 units there, like in Druemore Castle? Probably 300, maybe even 400. It's going to be super nice. Simple, with 846 in my army. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the diplomacy screen and literally just make peace with the Wolters no matter what they ask for. If they even ask me to give them money, then I will do that. And then we will be making our way over to Yarian territory. Actually, not Yarian territory. We're not going to go over here. Instead, I'm going to go to my settlement, and I'm going to recruit a bunch of custom units. Someone said in the comments, there was actually a comment asking me, you have so much money, why are you bothering with holding all that loot? And I think I responded. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever the case, if I didn't respond, then basically the reason for this, right? The reason why I have so much loot is so that I can have the ability to recruit custom troops on a whim. So if I want to recruit the highest tier of custom troop, I can just spend 800,000 just like that. And I don't need to worry about money because I have a bunch of loot in my inventory. That's the whole reason, because the custom troops are an extremely expensive thing to buy. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.